Hi, everybody. It's Brandi. Touching base with you this week. I'm really excited for our lives. We're going to have some really great topics this week. Um, so, thanks for being here. For those of you who don't know me well, I am a happiness coach and I partner with humans who feel like they have a lot going well in their lives, but that still something is either missing or there's still a lot of friction in their life. And so they still feel as though they're on this hamster wheel searching for the missing piece. And I help them like shift that and say, like, nothing external to you can allow you to be happy and feel fulfilled and have this sense of purpose. It's always an inside job. And so I partner with people to really align with that and realize that happiness has to be a goal unto itself. Today, we're going to talk about the journey to becoming, and we're really talking about becoming who you are meant to be. If you have any questions or comments as you're watching these, please post them in the comment box. Even if you're watching this at a later date, feel free to post anything there. I'm always so grateful when I see people in the streets or I get inbox messages about you listening. It really touches my soul and it means a great deal to me. So thank you. I know you guys can choose to spend your time any way you like. So I appreciate you spending it here with me. If there's ever any topics that you want me to cover, just let me know. I have posted the link to the Joy Blueprint, which is on my website. If you go to my website, you can learn about this course. It's really an excellent course. It starts on the first Monday of every month. So this coming month, it's going to start on September 4th. And it'll be a great way to kind of like close out the year on this higher note. And there are 20 lessons over the course of a month. There's this beautiful community that you're part of for 90 days. And also for each week of the course, there is a coaching call with me where you can jump on, ask me any questions that you may have. And so it really helps you think about your happiness through the lens of many topics and then go really deep through exercise work. So you will receive a journal and you'll receive a booklet with like many questions and exercises that are going to help you actually embody the work so that you can shift your life in a meaningful way by digging in. So I would love to meet you guys there. It's available for sign up now. It's $497. So it's a beautiful investment that you make for yourself. And what you will get out of it is going to be outsized value versus the price. Gotten really amazing feedback on it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the journey to becoming. I love this topic. It was the very first journal that I ever wrote. It's what I call my journal. It's kind of like how I think about my overall happiness process is that I really help people become the best version of themselves. That's what we're all striving to do, right? And so what are some things that you could be doing that are going to help there, right? So let's dive into this topic. I've already mentioned it's very close to my heart. And it's really about striving every single day to be the best version of ourselves, right? So I remember a time when from the outside, it really looked like I had everything I'd ever wished for, right? So it's a beautiful family, dream job, the vacations that I had yearned for, this perfect home. Did I mention my beautiful family? But there was still this kind of persistent feeling, right? It's kind of like an itch that you really can't reach, that something was missing, right? And so I checked all of the proverbial boxes. But life felt challenging. It felt really heavy. It felt like there was just too much friction for what we were supposed to experience in this lifetime. And I actually thought to myself, like, is this really meant to be, right? And so I'd always been obsessed with human potential, and I'd read many, many, many leaders on this topic. I thought I had a good understanding of kind of the laws of the universe, but I hadn't really embodied them. And so I remember the words of Wayne Dyer. Sorry, I said that wrong. Dr. Wayne Dyer. And when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, right? And so it dawned upon me that kind of most of us, including me at the time, like yearn for transformation, but we really resist change, right? We stay in our comfort zones, because it's comfortable. But here's the truth, right? If we persist as we always have, we will get what we always got, right? So it's like Groundhog's Day. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always had. And my personal kind of transformation metamorphosis really began in the wee hours of dawn. And so I committed to this 5 a.m. ritual, right? I came downstairs from my bedroom and I sat next to my fireplace, and I always would turn it on. And I just embarked on this really deep voyage of self-discovery, mindset molding, subconscious capacity building, like understanding my beliefs, understanding what had gotten me to that place, right? And while there was no eureka moment, kind of where I'm like, boom, this is the thing I did that shifted my life, gradually the universe began mirroring my inner shifts, right? Life began to flow, serendipities became the norm. And, one of the most beautiful parts is that other people started to notice this shift, this change, right? And while that shift can sometimes be both enlightening, but rather demanding, right? Like you think about it, and for the previous however many decades you've been alive, you've been on this journey to actually being who you are, and to shift that to becoming who you're meant to be, you have to take this persistent action, right? And so James Clear says in Atomic Habits that it's small, consistent actions that compound over time, right? And so it's this persistent dedication that can oftentimes feel challenging, perhaps daunting, right? But that's the level of commitment that it does take to shift how you view the world, how you experience the world, and what aspects of the world come to you, right? So every sunrise by the fireplace wasn't easy, but it really was essential to be where I am now. Like I tell everyone, there's 8 billion humans in the world, which means there are trillions of experiences at every time, which is why when you and I look out at the world, even when we see the same thing, we don't see the same thing, right? And so we each create the aperture through which we see and experience the world. And so we get to choose, and that's so beautiful, right? And so when you're in this space of knowing that you get to choose your experience of the world in this lifetime, and it's actually what you are meant to do, that's the human part of being human, right? Otherwise we would just fly with the angels or something like that, right? But you get to choose, right? And so a couple takeaways that I want you guys to remember from today really is that you deserve to be the best version of yourself, right? Like you have this unlimited and untapped potential, and you have to know in your soul that you deserve to access that, and that it is available to you always, right? And that transformative journeys really do require unparalleled commitment, right? You're not just showing up, you're actually rising up leveling to this new space and time, right? And you have to be willing to let go, right? So if you're always holding on to the dock, you're never going to see the beauty of the ocean, right? Because you're just right there by the shore. So you got to release where you've been to get to where you're going, right? And you're just doing this by shedding your old self, transcending any past hurts or emotional challenges that you've had, and really like being in this space of embracing kind of this new essence, right? And so you got to step away from the suffering that you've had and the suffering that you do by being focused on the past, be in this present moment and pre-pave your entire future. It's such a beautiful journey, right? And it's important just to know that none of us are alone. We're actually all in this together, right? And so, as you embark on your own journey of becoming, or as you continue on your own journey of becoming, because you're obviously already embarked upon it, given that you've taken time to listen in here today, right? You want to like think about Stephen Covey's 7 Habits, and right, what does he say? You begin with the end in mind. So start by just visualizing your highest self, like the highest and best version of yourself, and then you want to chart your course backward from there, right? Ever since I was a little girl, I used to always like build a pyramid, and at the very top of the pyramid, I would put like what I aspired to achieve, and then from there, it was like, what are the building blocks to get there, right? So if you're visualizing your highest self and then building a plan to get there, you're going to make it. It's inevitable, right? And one of the most important steps in this process is really building that subconscious strength, building your subconscious capacity, that belief, right? Your belief is the bedrock of any transformation. So all things, this I know to be true, that show up in our life start in our heads, right? And so if we can be masters of our mind, if we can be masters of our mind, then we will achieve and align with that which we're seeking, right? So for me, I envision a world where every single one of us continues to evolve. We're always becoming a better version of ourselves, and that we have an unwavering commitment, right? It doesn't mean that some days you won't have this like, oh, today is a day of rest, right? It's okay to rest. It's okay to like pause and place, right? But we want to be kind of in place and moving forward. And so my commitment is not just to my growth, but it's also to partnering and fostering yours. So thank you so much for sharing this space with me. As we journey onward, remember that growth is really about the journey, right? And then we all share this path to becoming who we were truly meant to be. And as we look through our lens of the world and we have this idea of what we would prefer the world to be, it's important that we never, ever, ever forget that changing the world really is an inside job. If there were 8 billion happy people in this world, what an amazing world it would be. And then from there, all I ever say is, let's go. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, please like this, please share this content with your friends and family. And as always, I'm open to feedback and look forward to hearing from many of you. Sending you lots of love. Bye now.